We welcome each of you back on board the SixSox Minds journey, and we thank you for taking time out to catch us live. At SixSox Minds, we believe that each one of us has the capability to be a winner. We welcome all of you with open arms as our goal is to serve, learn, share, and reach beyond. In addition, we are here for you with any assistance that you or your organization might need on a group or individual basis. SixSox classrooms are where we deliver quality to the best of our capabilities. Do reach out to us to know more. Let me introduce our speaker for today, a passionate individual who believes that learning is a constant process. Nagabhushan Balaji has more than 3 decades of experience in the corporate atmosphere, but a lot more in real life scenarios. Every one of us is unique, and he says that each of us have some inherent talent which we would not have explored. He devotes his time to the development of others as well as helping them realize their potential. He firmly states that learning and sharing are two sides of the same coin, and the more we share, the more we learn. He's a perfect example of an inspiring human being who walks the talk. Please welcome Mr. Nagabhushan Balaji with a blast from the past, right to left.
Thank you, Deepa, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome to everybody to this SixSox program, and it's great to have you back in the year 2021. All right, I titled this program as Right to Left, but while I'm thinking about right to left, let me just go to the next slide and push all of you to start thinking. If you have been born in the 1950s and later, if you have certain things which you wish to share, or you want to have reminiscences to share with all of us, you can use the chat box and type out certain things which you remember. It can be anything, so don't hesitate. Please share what you wish to. We'll take a minute.
As baby boomers, we are the most privileged lot. Crossing roads.
Aha, I get something there. Cut classes and went to cinema to watch MGR movies. Lovely. We have seen the world transform. Schooling period. Anything funny? Aha, Gilly and Goli throughout the day. Thank you. The pleasure of reading books. Fantastic. We saw Laurel and Hardy. Brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I know that all of you have enjoyed your times, and so have I. Just to take you back through some things which I used to enjoy, and I'm sure you will use the chat box again if I ask you this question. How many of you had this great tenacity to climb walls where you didn't have ladder, you didn't have a stairs to go to the terrace of your house? Just say yes or no if you have climbed the wall of your house to go to the terrace. Come on, always. Yes, oh yes. That's night plucking jasmine. Wonderful. I used to do this, and I used to do it for 3 reasons. Of course, everybody knows that we don't have stairs in the old houses and we had to climb. First thing I used to climb up was I wanted to show off to people that I can do it, because my friends used to go and climb on their houses, stand on the terrace and challenge me. So to accept the challenge, I used to be ready and I used to go climb on the terrace. Well, that's normal for all of us in our childhood. There were 2 other things which were important for me. Number one is, I know you know that if in case we want to eat some very good fryams, your mom used to tell you, can you put this in the sun, let it dry? And I used to take it up to the terrace and keep those lovely fryams for drying in the sun. Why? Because they kick back, and the best part of it was when they are ready, I used to get that additional stick of that fryam to eat when I used to have my lunch or dinner. But the best part of it was that we used to have 2 coconut trees in our house, not the tall coconut trees you think of, but the medium-sized one which used to grow up above our terrace. And then I used to climb there to pluck the coconuts. Pluck those coconuts, bring them down, take out the shell, get it ready, and give it to my mom. Why? Because there was a benefit in that. I used to love those beautiful coconut burfis she used to prepare. While everybody used to get their share of just one or two, I used to get an additional share. You know why? Because there was labor, there was some work behind it. And I had done certain things which probably the other children would have not. But then climbing the terrace was something which I used to enjoy. And of course, most of you have seen this. I used to pick up the cricket bat and go any time of the day or night. Somebody has to tell me that there is a cricket game going on. We want you there, or you can come over there. I just run away. It can be morning 5 o'clock, morning 8, afternoon 2, evening 7, even at nightfall when we used to have our games on the streets with those street lights. I used to be there. The only two times I used to come back home for playing without playing cricket was to have my lunch or to have my dinner. Other than that, it was only sleeping, and I used to enjoy my life a lot. One of the things which I cultivated long back was to talk to strangers. And I used to enjoy talking to strangers wherever I was. It didn't matter to me who it was. I used to go sit with them, chit chat, enjoy. And the best part was it didn't have to be only human beings. It could be anybody. Could be animals, could be birds. Sometimes I used to talk to squirrels, and I used to enjoy myself. So even today, when we take those long trips, you can see here, I go stand over there in the corner and I find these animals somewhere. I go stand in front of them and enjoy, much to the distress of the family that my daughter has taken on me, that whenever she finds these dogs and cats on the streets, she starts going hugging them. And it all has come in, I think, from me. So all the good things in the family has probably come from mom, and all the great things which I have done has gone in from me to my daughter. Other thing which I used to do was food. You give me anything you have. As long as it is vegetarian, it doesn't matter. And it need not be my house, by the way. It can be anybody's house. Our street had around 12 houses, and it didn't matter to me who is the person who is cooking. As long as somebody calls me and says there's something to eat, I used to rush off. And it didn't matter whether it has to be a perfect time, probably 8 in the morning for breakfast, 12 in the afternoon for lunch. It didn't matter. Eat breakfast around 9 or 10, go to somebody's house, eat something. Around 12, come back to my house, have lunch. 2 o'clock, eat in somebody else's house. 4 o'clock, have tea in someone else's house. And probably dinner. If nobody calls me into their house, I'm back in my house for dinner. So food was something which attracted me a lot. But because of all these things, there's something else which I developed also, and that is sleeping. It didn't matter to me where I slept. I didn't need a bed or a pillow to lie down. I could sleep anywhere. Even today, I can sleep on a flight, when I'm in the car, wherever I am, even when sitting here. And by the way, before this program started, I had a 20-minute nap, by the way, so that I could look fresh in front of you. It doesn't matter to me where I'm sleeping, as long as nothing is happening or something interesting is not happening. I close my eyes and I enjoy. You look at that niece of mine enjoying my sleeping over there. But I wish to take you through something.
आई मैं तो आई बहारों की अनजाने जहां से, लाई मैं तो लाई बहार की अफसाने भी वहां से, देखो मुझे छूना ना दूर ही रहना, परी हूँ मैं, मुझे न छूना.
How many of you loved those melodies in your life? You used to sit probably in one place and start thinking or listening to those melodies. If you have, used the chat box. Let's take 30 seconds to see your feelings. Yes and no. Let me see more of yes here, because I'm sure all of you must have enjoyed it. I'm getting all of them yes. There's very little, there's nobody who says no. Fantastic. You bet, Imtiaz. Thank you. Fabulous times we used to have enjoying these melodies. Some of the things we used to do in our times, and I'm sure all of you remember this. We used to have time to go and enjoy the beautiful sunrise. We used to spend time saying, yes, it's sunrise, let's spend our time, climb the top of the hill and enjoy ourselves. We also had time to walk across the street. It didn't matter to us where our destination is. We were so used to that if we don't get any vehicle, most of us used to walk or we used to take our cycle. There were no busy streets. This is one of the probably most busy streets in those times. You had just around 2 or 3 auto rickshaws, 2 or 3 bikes, and a very rare car or bus going around. And we used to enjoy those times because every street had something which we don't have now. It was greenery. That is something which we used to enjoy because very little sun used to hit us when we were walking, and it was greenery, and we used to love the peace, and we used to look around and enjoy whatever was there. Last but not the least, the water, the beach, those lovely moments we used to spend in the seashores. Some people who probably were born very near those seashore places used to enjoy water a lot. Many of us used to go on trips and sit there for hours together to play in the water, to see the ripples of the water and enjoy the music of water flowing around everywhere. I'm sure all of you remember those days. And some of you, if you remember this space, you can put your things on the chat box. This is from Bangalore. Just let me know if you know what place is this. And if you have been there in the 60s or 70s, you can type out the name of the place. There's a beautiful park, which is famous even today. Shamu, you're perfect. That is Kaban Park. Your favorite place, and so was it a favorite place for many of us, because we used to ensure that the entire family goes there, and the best part of it all was the person who carries the food was the happiest. We used to go in groups of 10, 15, 20 together. We used to carry the food and we used to enjoy over there playing and eating. It was time for the families. It was time for us to enjoy the togetherness. Let's take a minute now, and I know in the audience people are ready to go for it. Can you just solve this puzzle? Use the chat box. So what's the full one? 2 words have come out. Thank you for your time. It's very simple, but we used to enjoy doing it. Crossword puzzles are fun. It was fantastic for us to spend time sitting on these activities, tax our brains. And we used to enjoy doing it because it was a challenge solving these puzzles with our friends and with our family. Let's do one more exercise. You can use the chat box again. You can type out the answers if you know. And let's see how fast you do that. Some of you have got it. Some of you are still thinking. Good. That's 240. You're right. Let's take another one. Try it out again, please. Very fast. Fantastic. Thank you. That's the right answer. We go to the third one. I'm not testing you. I'm playing around with you, having fun. Easy, yeah? Very easy. Let's go to the last one. Thank you so much for your participation. What I was trying to get at is the way we used to learn, the multiples, the way we used to be taught, and the way we used to enjoy solving these multiples. It was very easy for us. We did not want a gadget. We didn't want a calculator or a computer or a phone to calculate these answers for us. Those of you who got it very, very fast, I'm sure you must have realized that what you learned in your childhood was fabulous for all of you. This was superb, and this is something which we cannot forget even today. Some of the games we used to play, yeah, you can again use the chat box because today is all interactive things. If you know the name of these games, come on, type it out for me, please. Lagori, Pittu, Tops, fantastic. It's coming out from every nook and corner. Lattu, fantastic, good. Pamparam, thank you. 7 Stones. See, we have all played these games. Buguri, we used to call it Buguri in my place, and I used to enjoy it. If you remember the next two, type these names out. Kuntabille, thank you. Bora, Goli, thank you. See, all of us remember these games, right? Let's go to the last one. These were the toys which we used to have to play. We didn't have those things which we used to tax our parents. We used to get these small, small things and we used to go there and enjoy with these toys. Remember this game? You can type any name you want on this game. It has several names. Come on, please. Let's interact. Ludo, okay. Most of you remember it as Ludo. Daya Kattai. Chauka Bara, okay. Ludo. Dayam. I don't know what Dayam is, but it's good. It's the same game. Nice. Ghibli. Same game, different names from different places. Pagada. Fantastic. Thank you. I think I brought out these pictures so that we could reminisce the past. And we can never forget this game, which is played even today. The snake and ladder. The reason we used to enjoy this game was, one is fun to be with people. Number two is definitely to enjoy when people went down through the snake, especially the longest one, which takes you down to the start button. And if somebody takes that ladder and goes up, you could see those expressions on our face, those mysterious expressions that we didn't like somebody climbing up the ladder, because we always wanted to be the first to finish the games. While we enjoyed these lovely treasures,
आहा, आपका जाना पहचाना संगीत गूंजा और देखिए जाग उठी मधुर मशहूर फिल्म संगीत के बचपन और जवानी की यादें। याद किया दिल ने कहा हो तुम झूमती बहार है।
Amin Sayani, the radio, the beautiful songs we used to enjoy. I'm sure Ceylon, somebody typed Ceylon, very nice. And these are the things I think we used to enjoy in the past. And I'm sure if you have been there and you have enjoyed Binaka Gitmala and all those lovely stuff, you'll remember all your lovely moments of life. Let's move to the next one. I'm sure you'll remember this too. How many of you have gone to the tents to watch a movie, and especially English movies? Type it out. Don't hesitate. Yes, it's a mad, mad world. Wonderful. Born Free, Mechanus Gold. Oh, wow. The Great Escape. Trinity is still my name. Lucy. Thank you. And then came this wonderful stuff. Doordarshan, yes. Rukhavat ke liye khed hai. Imagine you're waiting in front of the television for that superb movie which you want to watch. That one of the best cricket matches is about to start, and Doordarshan comes up with this lovely message. Sorry for the interruption. I'm sure every one of you here remember those days. This for us was the little change in the world which we used to enjoy. It was called the idiot box. But the world did not change as much for us, because even in front of the idiot box, we used to watch those movies together. We used to watch those serials together as a family. And we used to watch those lovely sports matches which we wanted to enjoy as a family. And then you must definitely be remembering this. This was a treasure in those times, because telephone is something which not many people had in their house. And if you used to have it, you're somebody who was considered an elite type of family. Even in the middle class, we used to say, yes, you are somebody elite. You have a telephone in your house, you have a television in your house, and you have lovely things in your house which we don't have. And I want to narrate a small instance when I think about the telephone. We were not allowed to spend our time chatting with friends in those times. That was actually kept at home for the owner of the house to use it, or for information to be gathered from other places, or definitely for emergency purposes. For me, I picked up the phone one day and I was chatting with one of my friends. And then it all happened. After 5 minutes of that call, I had this lovely aunt of mine who came behind and started raising her voice at me and said, "This is not for you. These are telephones which you should not touch. This is for your uncle, and he might get an emergency call in between. Don't spend your time touching the telephone." I enjoyed doing that or irritating her. But after she spoke like that, I stopped touching the telephone. And believe it or not, in that house, even though the telephone was there for a long time, I never used the telephone. I never went out to anybody and said, "I want to use your telephone." I used to get to people personally and talk. But telephone was one instrument which we all remember. It was fantastic for us to have these gadgets at home. Then came your favorite. I think I just missed the slide. So there you go. The lovely Nokia 3310 and the communicator with lock. Okay. Yes. Still have the Nokia brick. Imtiaz Ahmed, fantastic. It was innovation of a different category. The moment the communicator came, we used to be proud holding it in our hand, then open it up and type those messages to our people, or try to use our emails through the communicator. It was such a heavy gadget, but we didn't bother using it in those times. That was a sort of a pride for us when we walked around. These were nostalgic moments. I think those people who were born in the past, we enjoyed these nostalgic moments. Not that these are something which many people are not enjoying now. There are bits and pieces of it, but I don't think we'll ever forget those lovely nostalgic moments we had in our lives. To just move on when the world changed, what has happened now? You have a small television when you started, and now you have a big screen. People in between started going for the movies into theaters, and after theaters started multiplexes, and then came this television, this advent of all those things which you can watch. Nowadays, people hardly go out. COVID is not the reason. Even without COVID, people used to enjoy on this TV because you had everything at the fingertips. You have Netflix, you have Prime Video, you have Star Plus, you have whatever you want available for you over there. And people enjoy sitting and watching these lovely movies, these sports, and suddenly your friends call and say, "This channel, that's happening, are you not watching?" And you're in the midst of a lovely movie, you can't let go. But the passion of that person who has called and said, "There's something more interesting happening," you switch the channels. Click of a button, and you get anything and everything you want to watch in this world. After this came this advent of these beautiful three gadgets. You had this Android coming in, and then you had iPhone, and then you had Google Plus. People enjoyed having them. We used to have telephones and mobile phones probably for calling friends, for sending out messages, or for emergencies. But now the world is in the palm. It's in the hands of everybody on earth. Even the latest born baby can use these gadgets better than what we do. They know every application, they know where to download, they know how to play, and they play games which probably we have never seen in our world. And I still learn a lot of things from friends and from family. And I start thinking, where is this application? Where do I need to log in? Even when I have to go into Gmail, sometimes I have to struggle, but we have learned. We have learned to use this gadget, and we have learned to move forward in our life. But this has captured our lives. Gone are the times when we used to think that we have a lot of freedom. We used to go around and spend our time with friends and families outside. Now, when we spend time with our families, maybe there are 30 people in the room, that there are 40 telephones around you. And most of them are on their own gadget, enjoying themselves in their own way. The 40 people over there are still enjoying their life. It's not that they're not enjoying, but they are doing it in their own way. Rather than talking to one another, they're talking to somebody who is not available in that room. we never realized when we moved from those pleasures of life to the pressures of our lives. It's time that we think about where we were, what we have done, but also cherish the change which has gone through. So let's think about the present, the future, which we have to embrace, because change is the only constant in this world. But let's not forget those lovely treasures, lovely things which we had in our lives. Let's move to what is right, but let's treasure everything which we have had in our lives.
Thank you, Mr. Balaji, for this interesting session. We are happy to announce that we have launched SixSox Community, our tiny bit to contribute to the society, with the support of Mr. Venkat, known as the Pencil Man of UAE. To know more about the community initiative, do check out social media pages of Sampurna Shiksha and SixSox Minds. We thank you for having attended this session. Always remember, SixSox Minds is here to serve, learn, share, and reach beyond. We wish each of you a great day ahead from all of us at SixSox Minds. Namaste.